Good day, everybody. This is Cygnus Jason with GameSide, and tonight I was lucky enough to get a code to get into the alpha testing for Hunt Showdown by Crytek. Before we dive in, let me just preface this by saying I am not good at this game at all. I definitely need to get a little better at it. When I went to get started, it told me I had to recruit a hunter. Hunters are your characters that I don't know if you'll be able to customize them in the actual game or not, but you can choose between a batch, or you choose one out of a batch of four, and that will be your character for the next match you go into. Now, once you die in the match, you lose that hunter, and you also get your XP for that entire match cut in half. So it's kind of best to take care of them and make sure that you get them to extraction after you're done with the mission. For this alpha test, there were four missions to choose from, which were basically the same mission, just one at day and one at night. You could either fight the spider creature or you could fight the butcher, which is a hulking mass of flesh and body parts holding a giant searing hot meat cleaver that really does a lot of damage. I get to fight the butcher later on in this video, so you'll see just how awful it is. I jumped into my first match with very little knowledge about anything, and some other players were very eager to help me get adapted to the game. See, we're even gonna make sure I don't turn into one of the undead. How thoughtful. Basically, the name of the game is PvP. When you choose a mission, you choose a target, and you're supposed to take you and your team, get to that target, kill it, and banish it from this realm before any of the other enemy teams in the area can do that. You also have to successfully extract your team in order to keep all the XP and loot that you've come across. Stealth plays a big part in this game, whether it's daytime or nighttime. Just taking a few steps is enough to alert anything within 20 yards of your location. Whether you step on broken glass, you walk through some chains too quickly, you walk by a murder of crows and they fly up in the air, squawking like the loud bastards that they are, or you step through maybe some very high water in a swamp. All of these are just enough to alert everything near you. So it goes without saying that you don't want to fire off your weapon unless absolutely necessary. You have this ability called Dark Sight, which is sort of like Eagle Vision from Assassin's Creed. It gives you a general direction to go in if you're tracking clues for whatever your contract target is, or if you're tracking enemy players who have just recently killed the target. That's the point of the mission. Seeing as it only gives a general direction and doesn't tell you where players are located, you have to be very careful when approaching points of interest because there might be enemies lying in wait. Aiming and crouching and stealth, like all that put together, is kind of difficult in the game, and I'm not just saying that because of the frame rate drops making it difficult to actually do anything. It's that if you hold right mouse button, which is normally aim in an FPS played on PC, it only zooms in a little bit, but it's still over the shoulder. You have to hold shift in order to aim down the sights of the gun, which makes it hard to free up fingers or figure out what fingers you can move to do other actions like strafing or crawling or what have you. The controls might seem difficult at first, but just like any game, I'm sure it's something you'll probably get used to within time and try to develop some sort of muscle memory to it. One thing that kept getting me killed was the fact that your guns don't reload automatically. You have to stand there and take the time to reload each bullet individually, which when you're in the middle of fighting an enemy that can move fairly quickly, while you're reloading, you're basically a sitting duck for them to run up and give you the 2 hits they need in order to put you down in the dirt. Of course, the game is still in alpha right now, so of course some parts won't work the way they should, or some things might feel clunky, or graphics might not be up to snuff for what some people might expect, or this or that and the other. And I'm sure that, after the game has been worked on a little more and more time's been put into it, that everything will be perfectly fluid and smooth the way it needs to be in order for a player versus player FPS type game to work and function properly. Alright, I think that about does it for what I had to say about the alpha test for Hunt Showdown. Now, if you guys will excuse me, I think I need to go practice at this game a lot more until I'm confident enough to storm into these missions guns blazing and not worry about the consequences. This has been Cygnus Jason with GameSide, signing off. See you guys next time.
There he is.